Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul from Vintage Sports Card Finds. Today's video is a long time in coming. It's a video that focuses on the top 10 basketball cards in my PC. Again, like all the other videos I did for hockey, hockey, football, and baseball, this necessarily isn't all about value. It's more of what these cards mean to my particular collection and how I feel about them and the hierarchy that they have as far as I'm concerned. Of course, value plays a part, but not the most important part. So we're going to start with a couple of honorable mentions. The first one is a Kevin McHale rookie card. I may have another one of these, but this one was easier to access. So it is currently, obviously off center, but not a bad looking card. The corners are sharp. The edges are pretty strong. The main problem with this card, obviously, is the top to bottom centering on that one. The next card is the 1988 Flair Dennis Rodman rookie. So there's a little bit of difficulty getting in on the Dennis Rodman part, but because of the colors. But it's a good looking card. Dennis Rodman's rookie card. I picked up all the rookies from this set, and you will see a few of them in this video as we kind of touch. You'll see a couple of the key rookies from the 88 set for sure. This one probably didn't make my top 10 because as much as I like Dennis Rodman and his rebounding ability and just the persona of Dennis Rodman, the reason this card sort of was in the honorable mention list was because of how badly off center it is. It's just horribly off center, right to left, probably like 90-10. So that's probably why that one was left off the list. The next card is a second year Magic Johnson. This is the first card, the first Magic card where he's by himself. And it's a strong card. Might have a little bit of, let me put this out of here. Might have some tweaking here and there on a corner, but strong card. Potential candidate for grading, probably get somewhere around a 7 on this card, I'm guessing. I would be surprised to see it get any higher than that. There are not a ton of vintage cards in this list because all of the key vintage rookie cards that I'm looking for, I have second and third years of Dr. J and Wilt and that sort of thing. So, but not like prime key rookies. And again, this is more of what this was my wheelhouse of collecting was in the 80s, and certainly my sort of fell in love with basketball in the 80s when you had Jordan and these really strong Celtics teams and Lakers teams and and other great players like Ewing and Olajuwon and etc. So this one here is the first Larry Bird solo card. During the pandemic, these started to get some crazy prices, both the Larry Bird and the Magic. So I was hoping for the first time when I get a 10 of one of these cards, I could, help pay off the house. But it didn't work out. It didn't materialize. Obviously, if this card were sent in, probably gets somewhere around a 6 or 7, I'm guessing. Just because of the centering on this card. All right. And one of the vintage cards that did make the list Those of you who watch the channel have seen this card before recently in a video. It's a Pat Riley rookie card. Pat Riley, obviously famous for being a tremendous coach and front office man, but also a great player, very good player, I should say, and a great player at the collegiate level at Kentucky. So you can see there, college, Kentucky, and he was born in New York. And this was the first card of his that they made. And again, this has got centering issues, but it's a strong card nonetheless. I'd probably say this because of everything else on this card, the corners, the edges, etc. This would probably be a 5, maybe a 6. But probably more of a 5 because I think the centering is so off on that. But that's a card that's, maybe at some point I'd get graded. So let's get into the actual top 10. And to lead off the list is Reggie Miller. This is a Reggie Miller rookie card from the 88 Flair set. Beautiful card. Centering off a little right to left, side to side, and a little off top to bottom. But compared to the rest of the set and how legitimately off center a lot of those cards were, this one wasn't bad, so that's why it made the list. Reggie Miller, a great player. I love 3-point shooters, and Reggie Miller was the first super clutch 3-point shooter besides Larry Bird. So a big fan of Reggie Miller, and it seemed like for a while there Reggie Miller made his career on beating the Knicks, which is always a plus. The next card also made the list because of its centering. It's number 9 on the list, and that's the 88 Flair John Stockton rookie. So again, a very strong card, nice condition. And these two cards really made the list ahead of anyone else because they're not badly centered. I mean, this one has a shot, I would think, of being an 8, if I had to guess. I mean, the way they grade cards today, this would probably get a 7, but it should get an 8 because really the only thing wrong with this card is that slight centering top to bottom and slightly off center, slightly left to right. Number 8 on the list is an 86 Flair Clyde Drexler rookie. So this was a card I won't forget about. I picked up last year. So if I had done this list a year ago, this card wouldn't have been on the list. I picked this card up in a trade, and it was just a tremendous trade. This guy who just had stumbled onto some basketball cards he just wanted to get rid of, and there was some 86 Flair in there, and I'm never going to turn that down. But the guy apparently really only wanted $20 and some items I had at the flea market in trade. So, I mean, I couldn't turn that down at all. So you wanted $20 for this card and some other 86 Flair. Another one of those cards has also made this list. So that's a handy dandy of a great player from that iconic 86 Flair set. The next card, another 88 Flair, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen rookie. Corner is very strong on this card. Badly off center, but strong edges, strong corners. This should probably grade like a 6, 5 or a 6 actually. The centering might be bad enough where they might give it a designation of a 5. But Scottie Pippen's rookie card for a while there, Scottie Pippen raw rookie was selling for $200. I think I picked up this set pre-pandemic for like $100 or something like that, or $110 or $120, something in that neighborhood, something that was not unreasonable. So I was really excited to pick this set up when I did. So I didn't have to go chasing those iconic rookie cards from those years when things got expensive. This card also came in that flea market trade I just described. This is card number 6 and I mean, Isiah Thomas rookie, and look at the centering on this card. So I've been contemplating recently doing another PSA order, and this is a card I think I have to send in. I mean, the centering on it is just off the chain, and the corners and everything look pretty strong. So I gotta believe that this card would grade real well. I mean, it's gotta be at least an 8. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. While we're there at our little intermission with the last 5 cards, I want to thank you guys for viewing the channel. I appreciate all the comments we've been receiving. Take this moment, if you haven't already, to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. It really helps the channel out a bunch. We've had a great last 2 months where we added like 50 or 60 subscribers, which is awesome, and I really appreciate all of you guys. And we're going to, as long as you keep liking the content, we're going to keep making it. So this next card number 5 on the list, is the kind of filler card for the one I really want, and that is the Larry Bird rookie without Magic and Dr. J. So this is a Larry Bird 1980-81 Topps with the scoring leader Bird there. And, strong card. A very strong condition cards. These cards did survive pretty well. If they weren't cut or, perforated the way a lot of kids did back in the day, I guess. This predates me buying cards out of packs. So, but these cards have survived pretty well, and they seem to survive pretty well. Maybe it has something to do with the card stock, but when I buy lots of these cards, I don't see a lot of terribly damaged ones. It'll always have the problem that Topps had, which is, of course, always centering. You're going to see a lot of cards from Flair on this list, and that's to be expected. And I'm going to take this moment right now to discuss why that is. For some reason, in the biggest era for basketball cards, arguably the 80s and into the very early 90s, Topps basically ceded the market to Flair. And I really don't understand it. I still can't comprehend why you don't just, as Topps, put out a set. Even if you just sold the set as like, hey, here's the set. It's $20. You can pick it up at your local card shop intact. Nothing. Topps did nothing. And they ceded the market to Flair for an entire decade. The last Topps set produced was 1981-82, and then they didn't come back until Shaq's rookie year in 91-92. Probably the single greatest failure of the Topps company as it relates to basketball. This next card is the number 5 card on the list, and it is a Michael Jordan 1987 Flair near mint 8 with the OC designation. So for a long time, so this card comes with a story. This card, for a long time, I had every other card in the 87 Flair set, with the exception of this one. Told a buddy of mine, man, I got to pick this card up. I got to finish that set, blah, 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 blah. So January of 2020, my buddy calls me and he says, hey, there's a guy who's got a 1987 Flair PSA card, and it's graded. It's an 8 OC. He's got it for $110 on eBay. Maybe you can make him an offer. So I did. I made him an offer of $100. The guy accepted, and boom, it came. And then a month or two later, these cards was selling for crazy money. You guys remember when the pandemic hit and The Last Dance came out? That was it. These cards went through the roof. There were cards, the graded 8s without the designation, that were selling in the thousands. And of course, Michael Jordan has come down a lot, as has every card, but they still hold more value than the $100 that I paid for this card. So I was really glad I got it when I did. People told me I should have sold it. Let me know in the comments what you think I should have done. Should I have sold this card at the time? Because now I could probably buy back into this card fairly inexpensively. And I could have made, some crazy profit back then. But again, that's not why I do this, right? I didn't have another one of these cards. Had I had another Michael Jordan, I definitely would have sold it. But this was the only Jordan I have. I'm a collector first, not a seller first. But let me know what you would have done in the comments. I'd be curious to know what your take would be on that. These next couple of cards are interesting. I did do a video a long time ago. I'll put it in the description, the information on that. Oh, I flipped that. Sorry, that Michael Jordan card was number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list is this Robert Parrish PSA 1977 Topps rookie card in a mint 9. I mean, let's face it. I don't know when this was graded. It's got an old holder on it and whatnot. But here's what I'm going to say about this card. If I sent this same card in with the same sort of dynamics that it has here right now, this would basically not grade a 9 today. So I'm really glad I was able to pick this up when I did. This one I already picked up graded, so I have a very difficult time that this would grade today in the 9. They just give it a 7 or at most an 8, just because they don't give high grades to vintage cards anymore. Last two. Number 2 on the list is this gigantic, and I will put in the description of the video that I sort of did the purchase for these cards. This 1972 Ice Bear Wilt Chamberlain card in near mint 7. I didn't know anything about these cards until I picked this one up, also graded with an old PSA label. I just think this is so cool, of such a iconic star vintage basketball player. And this is really kind of an oddball thing, but which I think is going to make it a little bit rare. So I'm really excited to have this card, and it's number 2 on my list. And if you haven't guessed it already, number 1 on my list is my 86 Flair sticker, Michael Jordan, excellent mint 6. Beauty of a card. This one I submitted and had graded myself, and I thought it had a chance at a 7, but it came back a 6, which was what I was anticipating, but I was hoping for a 7. But it didn't materialize because, again, it seems to me that PSA is deliberately holding grades down of decent-looking cards. Like cards that should grade 9s are getting 7s or 8s. Cards that should grade 8s are getting 6s and 7s. I think they're trying to manipulate the pop count. That's just my opinion. I have no proof of that other than watching people's videos and seeing how often it doesn't work. It doesn't. The grades are coming back a little bit lower. Not all the time, but quite a bit. So that's it. That's the list. We'll see what 2023 brings and what I can add and subtract from the list. As always, I'm running out of battery here, guys, on my phone. So I want to thank you all so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. And feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, and all those beautiful things. And as always, happy hunting. I do want to make one final announcement. The outdoor flea market that I usually find all sorts of great stuff at is opening up on March 26th. So I should be doing a lot of more card find videos that'll be coming out soon. And so look for that. And as always, guys, thanks a bunch and have a good night.